Esther, Jerry. Here's what I want to do. Do you already know what I want to do?
Yes, and we're frightened.
Oh, I can't believe I'm here. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here's the 8-hour conversation I want to have in just 2 minutes. Okay. God and my Christian background, biblical viewpoint, my new marriage, and he lives with chronic pain. I want him healed. He wants to be healed. And cleaning up negative vibration quickly when we are experiencing it, when I am experiencing it. Cleaning up my vibration and no longer poking around in the dark with, do I do a focus wheel? Do I do this? What do I do? Raising my 2 kids and not being scared, like earlier you're talking about the dog who bites, the one who's in fear, and I have a 7-year-old who can be a pit bull at times. And I want to tell you something really exciting.
All right, so let's start at the beginning of this. The thing that most often separates you as you stand in your physical body, any of you, in your physical body with your physical mind and your physical personality, the thing that separates you or hinders you, the thing that keeps you from being really in sync with who you are, is the notion, it's a belief that many practice, that we call shortage consciousness. So it's conversation about not enough money or conversation about not enough time. It's this feeling that I have so much that I want to know and not enough time in which to know it, or so much that I have to do and not enough time in which to do it. And you're really rippling with all of that. When you first sat down, we are appreciating your enthusiasm. We see that often, but we could see that you were having a hard time settling. When we said settle down, we meant settle into this moment. Let's get focused here about what we're here about. So it's just a logical thing that you can't ask 10 questions all at once. And it's also a logical thing that you can't take the time for the whole seminar by asking all the things that you want to ask. And so whenever we invite someone forward, we always know these things. We can always feel the power of their desire, and we can always feel their readiness to hear the answer to the question that they are asking. Otherwise, we don't call you forward. We also are understanding where what you want to know fits in with what others are wanting to know. And so we are choosing those conversations that will have the most meaning, the most meaningful impact on the most who will be listening to it in this room. So what we really want you to hear from us is that through your life experience, because of the intensity of focus, you are good at focusing. You're not demonstrating it right now, because you're sort of scattered, but you are good at focusing. Life causes you to focus desires into place. And you have a vortex that is ripe with so many things that you care about, like your children growing up and living happily ever after, and like relationships, and like understanding how all of this fits together. In other words, those questions are very strong, very vivid in your vortex. So since they are, the thing that we want you to hear from us is that if you can relax a little bit, if you can trust just a little more, that the answers to those questions will come not in a 2-minute rampage that you couldn't possibly hear, no matter how perfect the words are that we join together. Esther had more meaningful understanding coming to her this week because of things that seemed to be going wrong on her job site. Very meaningful understanding of how the universe works and how law of attraction works, just by noticing how she felt under these conditions, and then how she felt by just focusing a little differently. If we can convince you that it's all in your ability, everything that you seek lies in your ability to slow it down enough, to pick something that is specific enough, and to bring yourself to deliberately soothe yourself. Soothe yourself into alignment. That really is what you're looking for. And if you will do that, then each time you soothe, then what the universe yields to you next is the next step along the way, and the next and the next and the next, until you are just continually fine-tuning your vibrational frequency, your vibrational output. What comes back to you is always a absolute match to what you're broadcasting. And so when you're broadcasting in a sort of scattered way, what's coming back to you is coming back in a sort of scattered way. So just slow it down, pick one thing at a time, make lists of positive aspects. We delivered through Esther 22 processes that are in the Ask and It Is Given book, with some specific instructions to let you know that depending upon what emotion you are predominantly feeling, this process may be better for you than this one, and this one for this one, or this one for this one. In other words, each process will help you along the way depending upon what the usual emotion is that you're having. So from your point of view, what do you think is your most common? Don't tell us the one you think we want to hear. Don't tell us the one that you want to achieve. What is your most common emotion? What do you find yourself saying to yourself most often? I feel
Good. Happy.
all right. So from what you witnessed, we're asking you how many chairs you see in this room. From what you witnessed, what is the emotion that you perceive happening here?
Yeah, all that too.
Well, so what we're getting at is that you told us what you thought we wanted to hear, and you told us what you really want to feel, and that's really an important thing. But you've got to figure out some way in a moment that you feel worry, not in a moment where you're trying to bring it all together all at once. That makes you crazy. What you demonstrated just now, I've got all these things I want to talk about, and I want to take 8 hours of conversation, and I want to whittle them all down into 2 minutes. That's not ever going to happen. Life's coming to you one emotional experience at a time. And when you're having an emotional moment, what you want to do is find some way to turn the condition into an uncondition, which means feel it as an emotion, and find some way of shifting the emotion from something that doesn't feel so good into something that feels better. So pick one subject from all of those that you sort of scattered at us a little bit ago. Pick one subject, and let's do exactly that right now.